My dad, 60M, is adding something to my food that makes me, 25M, sick. Posted in r/BestOfRedditorUpdates. Original post June 21, 2025. I, 25M, was suffering from bloating and vomiting from December 2024. After 4 months of consulting 5 different physicians, including gastro, 3 endoscopies and multiple tests, they arrived at the diagnosis of Crohn's with stricture at the junction of duodenum and jejunum. After the diagnosis, I found that I had become intolerant to rice and potatoes. My mom and grandmom understood the disease after I explained it to them, but my dad's opinion was that this was not a disease and it's all because you ate a lot of lemons 3 years ago. After completing the meds and avoiding the specific trigger foods, rice, potatoes, I went into remission. Around 2 weeks back, I had a flare-up which kept on increasing in severity every day. Me and my mom saw my dad was adding something like powder to the milk before I drank it. There was no taste or odor change in the milk though. We had suspicions that he was also adding something to the salt and sugar in kitchen. So I stayed in my granny's place for a few days. During the stay I had no symptoms, not even pain or bloating. Meanwhile my mom threw away everything that was suspicious and bought everything new. I returned back to my home. We are being very careful in locking everything in kitchen and ensuring only we have access to them. After doing all this I feel better and we have seen my dad trying to pry open the things we locked. There are 2 other things that bothered me during this time which may or may not be related. 1. Just 2 days before my flare-up, I informed that I got selected for masters in Europe and my dad and elder brother hated that and were against it. When I said I will be going there, he replied something unexpected may happen and your plan may fail. 2. Before this recent flare-up, there was an incident when like this time my dad was doing something in kitchen. My dad never uses the kitchen. I took a sip of the milk later and there was a strong taste of rust. So I threw it out entirely and didn't think much of it. I asked about this issue in r/Crohn's disease around 10 days prior and intended to publish this story here too but couldn't. Here are the events that happened after that. 1. I forgot to lock a jar of cookies inside the cabinet, ate them the next day and got sick again. 2. My mom's coffee has tasted weird multiple times and she also got sick after drinking it too. 3. My dad broke into the locked kitchen cabinet and the refrigerator. 4. We replaced all the things there and shifted them to my granny's home. 5. Me and my mom are traveling to my granny's home for every meal. 6. We also have suspicions that my brother knows about this and chose to ignore as he visited home and avoids eating anything at home. We are taking careful steps to confirm these. I don't want to get into too much detail, but we are trying to get solid evidence before doing anything further. Let me know if I'm overthinking, or what steps I should take next. I feel very unsafe and emotionally drained, but I just want to make sure I'm not losing perspective. Note, I originally posted this initially in r/relationship_advice, but it was removed. I'm sharing it here because I still need support, and this has been a very real and painful experience. AITA for refusing to give my dad and brother updates about my masters? June 21, 2025. I, 25M, got into this dream masters by my own effort on April, despite my health issues. The tuition for this program is actually very minimal, which is rare for international master's programs. I told everyone close to me, starting with my parents, elder brother, friends, close relatives, aunt and uncle, and some professors from my bachelor's. My dad, 60M, was initially open to me going there but changed his decision soon after talking to my brother. He told he likely won't be able to sponsor my master's. So I applied to a scholarship and was following up on it. I also applied for an education loan. My elder brother, 30M, was totally against it, saying he didn't like it and even said, "Are you going to beg in that country after doing this degree?" My mom and relatives on her side, granny, aunt, uncle, were totally overjoyed and loved that I was able to get in this master's. My professors and other professionals in my field told it was a great opportunity and that it would benefit my career. I was working through all the administrative process and stuff by myself till today. My mom and relatives provided moral support during this time period and also tried to explain to my dad and brother that this is a good opportunity for me. Yesterday my brother showed up unannounced to our home and made my mom stay in my granny's home, stating that he and my dad wanted to talk to me alone. They told me I was in the wrong to inform my close relatives about this master's and demanded me to update on the process till now. I told them everything, including the education loan and scholarship I've applied. They started nitpicking the course details, trying to find any fault in the program, but everything was well detailed and had no issue. Then they told me whatever I did was useless and I did nothing in these 2 months. They told I won't be getting the scholarship or the loan realistically, nor do they have any money to spare for my studies. They made it clear that they won't help in any process further, but still want updates daily and need all the email I receive related to loan/scholarship/university forwarded to both of them. They instead want me to do a master's in this state next cycle/year. They told stop living in a dream and accused me of being selfish for not thinking of the family or anyone else. So AITA for not giving updates or not letting them interfere in the process after this incident? For context, I was lucky to have completed my bachelor's with almost full scholarship with a few minor expenses covered by my dad. I had moved back to my parents' place and the money I saved up after that was spent very recently on my medical expenses. I made it very clear that I wanted to do my master's in this field. The master's program I got into is not available anywhere nearby, not even nearby states. Side note, there's also a separate and very serious situation happening at home that made me feel unsafe. I've made a separate post about that, so I won't go into it here. Verdict: no official verdict given, but was unanimously NTA in the comments. Update: my dad is adding something to my food that makes me sick and now wants me to forgive him? August 11, 2025. Hi everyone, I'm sorry it took me a while to update. These are my previous posts for context: post 1, post 2. I've been reading and replying to some comments, but I wanted to share what's happened since my last posts. What's happened since: my relatives say I should meet him to secure my inheritance, legally mine, because it could help me in the future. My brother is pestering my mom to get me to talk to him. My mom and I relocated without telling my dad or brother. I cut off all calls and messages from them. We couldn't gather much evidence except for a white powder in our plates, a microphone hidden under my mom's bedroom dresser. On the day we moved, I drank water from our house. 2 days later, I had bleeding from my nose and mouth. Blood tests showed that both my mom and I had elevated, almost identical levels of strontium and vanadium. Our family doctor said the bleeding wasn't from those metals, but likely from an anticoagulant toxin, possibly a rat poison. I moved between friends' places to recover and took the antidote for the anticoagulant poison. Since I moved, my scholarship and education loan were both cancelled, and I'm almost certain through his influence. My mom gave me her savings, which will nearly cover my degree. My dad has been telling relatives he's sad I'm not talking to him. My aunt and uncle, mom's side, who know the truth, confronted him. He admitted the poisoning but claimed it wasn't meant for me. They also asked why he wasn't financing my master's. He said he felt guilty and would fund it if I talked to him. My dad is calling and texting me now. I want to see you or talk finally last. Understand my position. If not, you cannot see any more later. I will never forgive my dad. But the inheritance is significant and could make a huge difference in my life. I've spoken to lawyers and the police. My dad has ways of wriggling out of legal trouble. Do I just talk to him, get my part of the inheritance, and then cut contact? Or is even that too dangerous to risk? Relevant comments. Commenter. Call the university about the scholarship. OP. The scholarship is not on the uni side but is by a government-funded agency. They gave me a reason that they made a mistake and just told me, why don't you wait for a year and try again? The words used by the person in charge was definitely fishy. If you liked the story, please follow. Videos are always one part and never use AI to generate stories.